Hi everyone, my name is Maggie Bryant, and I picked the topic of the Maasai jumping dance. And yeah, I can't wait to tell you guys all about it. So, starting off, what is the Maasai jumping dance? It was created by the young warriors, also known as the Udama dance. They are a semi nomadic ethnic people who have a plethora of rituals for boys as an initiation process, all starting around the age of 14 and 16. Now, we don't know the date of when it was started, but it is still performed around today. The young boys do this as a jumping dance, which is also known as the Arame, as I said before, where they jump as high as possible, showing off their strength and nimbleness. They gather in their age group and showcase the height of their jump to a song only sung by the mouth, which is sung by all the women, including their moms. This process happens during the Unital ceremony, which is part of the transformation from a boy to a warrior. This marks changes in the warrior's status, whereas overall, it's a celebration to mark the rite of passage to welcome young men to the next stage of their lives. Its origin and its current location is in northern Tanzania and southern Kenya. And then this picture is like them in the field where they perform in the national like grass and stuff. They gather in like one big circle and they have these fancy clothes, these nice shoes, and it's kind of like a competition base, which I'll get into more later. For the cultural context, overall, this was to check in on the young warriors throughout their process of transformation from boyhood to manhood, displaying their strength, endurance, growth, and courage. Once they pass this round of the initiation, they move on to the next, but they are now eligible for marriage. So, as they're growing up, before they are 14 to 16, they're not allowed to look at any young girl, touch or anything. But after they basically pass this process, they are now able to move to the marriage process. And then this is also done as a mating call as well. Also, kind of to like, I would say nowadays terms to flirt back and forth with your significant other. And then, yeah, this is also performed after they have been away at camp called Imanyata, where they are miles away from home. In this camp, they are learning all about the rituals, why they do it, what it's like to be a warrior, why they be a warrior, in their culture, and why that's important. Um, Again, we are still unsure when it first began, but this is key to taking the next step in marriage. These gatherings also could take up to 10 days. They last a very long time. And so imagine jumping for 10 days or gathering and singing. I bet it's something not easy, but they do find much joy in this, which is super cool to read upon. And then, yeah, like I said, it's passed to a mating dance to show their significant others how much they love them, which is super cool. And it's tradition done for many years. So awesome about that. And then I can't imagine being away from home. It's probably not hard for them on their young minds, but in that they are growing and learning, but they're also showing up to be a man as well. So the contemporary significance, as mentioned before, this is crucial in the process of the culture, which is very known for rituals and unique ceremonies. There's about 5 to 8 different rituals that they do to become a warrior. There's like 6 different steps you have to take. You have to only eat and drink certain milk from certain animals. You go through a process of like the shaving of the head. There's all these fun, cool things that they do to build their character to become that warrior and to make sure they are ready for the battlefield and hunting and gathering and all that fun stuff. But they're also very unique than other different cultures I have seen or heard about. And for this fun dance that they do, they dress up for this, they paint their face with whimsical colors, lines, very vibrant, very bright. They want to look wow and awake because, again, they are kind of impressing the woman just to make sure that they can get a wife after this, so they're trying to look the part. Also, they wear handmade sandals, which I thought was really cool, that in the process when they are away at that camp, they are making sandals, again, like learning all the things and just how to lead a house how to lead a house as a man. And then they wear unique beads on their feet. Again, I thought that was cool that they gather those. It's not something that they order from Amazon. It's something they make, and they wear them. And then like as they're jumping, you can hear like the different noise the beads makes, along with like the mothers and the moms in the ancient not ancient, sorry, but the older crowd singing, which is like it makes a beautiful sound. They don't use any drums or anything or any like instruments. It's strictly just their mouth, basically giving praise. And today, if you were to travel to Kenya or Tanzania, you are able to eyewitness these ceremonies where many tourists recommend doing so. And I see this as today as being a Christian. You see like gatherings at churches and communities on Sundays. And I wouldn't say we do rituals, but we worship, which is, again, not a ritual, but it's something that we do in our community. We gather. And in these dances that they do, which is not really a dance, but more of a jumping dance. They are finding joy in this. It's almost like a gathering for like family and peace, but also the boys are now reuniting with their mothers and their family, and they're showcasing over time like how hard they worked, which I love that. And then one quote that stood out to me was, "The mothers of the warriors sing too, to celebrate the bravery and strength of their sons." Again, I can't imagine in today's age, um, getting stripped away and going through the tough process and rituals and ceremonies that they do, and then coming back and like reuniting with their family. It's probably really tough, but we also do see this when kids go off to the army or the navy or whatever it may be. And so we do see a lot of cross lines between their community and our community today, where stuff like this still happens, where you are torn from your family but you have to lead the house. A lot of young boys, they grow up not with a father figure. And so in our nature, in the American dream, like you have to grow up to be the man to lead the household, which is something that I was able to tie these two together. And then lastly, one thing again that just stood out to me is the importance of everyone gathering together, not just for the boys, so they can showcase and find a wife and show their strength and stuff, but again, it's a community thing, and I touched on that a little bit, but I wanted to reiterate that, because that is something that truly did stick out to me, as I was reading upon this and watching the videos and just seeing everyone gathered. I think that is the one big thing that we need in the world all the time, not just today. And then here's my works cited page. I use all electronic sources. I used 3 different websites, and then there is one where I sorted the pictures. Thank you.